What I want to show you today is how to plant on a grid, one seed at a time, without using expensive equipment. My main tool is this syringe, which is easily obtainable at either a vet supply or a pharmacy. And just for reference, I took this to a grinding wheel and slightly tapered the tip. Now that's, you'll see as I set the seeds in my template here, that is an aid to picking up and getting the seeds off. My other tool is this template, that I cut out of an old poster we made. Just simple poster board on a 3-inch square grid and 1 foot. This fits over your standard cheap dinner napkin. These are easily found at the grocery store, and the real cheap ones are only 1 layer. The cheap, more expensive ones are 2 layers, and that way you can take them apart and use half and use the other half to cover. Otherwise, the real cheap ones, you just end up using 2 napkins, one to set the seeds out and the other to cover. The idea is when you're done, you have a square foot of spaced seeds ready to plant. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is, of course, load your glue. My favorite glue is molasses. And molasses has a great sticking ability, easy to come by, and tastes good. So it's fun to use. Fill your syringe, make a mess, clean it up. It's not a problem. Might have gotten a little over enthusiastic here, so I'll put some back. Okay, now we have our tool. I folded a little paper tray here to keep the seeds on, and I'm going to set this up with looks like romaine seeds. I chose the smallest seed I could to demonstrate how easily and effectively you can work with this equipment. Put a little bit on your pre-folded paper tray. Spread them out so they're easy to get individually. Now this makes seeds go on forever. There's no thinning, and if it doesn't come up on your grid, it's not what you planted, which is pretty nice. Okay, the first thing we do is set the glue. So we put down a base, small dot of glue in each hole in your template. And this will be kind of like to catch the seeds when you put them on. Okay, so now we have 4x4, 16 seeds set on 3-inch spacing on a square foot. Next step is to set the seeds. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but let me just show you how small these seeds really are. The romaines are about as small as they come. Now with the tip of your glue gun or your syringe, if you use the side and set it down, a seed will stick to it. Then if you put it in the glue spot you put on your template, it will usually release. Now, sometimes if you get a buildup of glue, molasses, whatever on the tip of your syringe, you can easily adjust that by oral methods. And you just go through, pick one seed at a time, and place it in the glue on your napkin. I've seen several methods for planting individual seeds like this, and one entails a very expensive piece of equipment that just rolls in your garden, and I suppose if you're growing salads commercially, would be well worth the hundreds of dollars it costs, but this is pretty low tech, low budget. And the nice thing is that once you get your napkins seeded, you can store them, and when you're ready to plant, they're all set up and ready to go. Okay, now we have our 16 seeds all placed. You take off the template. Now the next step, what I like to do to finish, is put just a little dab on each corner and each midsection of the napkin before I finish the layer here by putting another napkin over it. Okay, now we have all the corners and sides covered, put one in the middle. And you'll find that it takes very little molasses to do this. The less you use, the less messy it is. And you take a second napkin, and you'll find that the napkins are just slightly wider one way than the other, so you want to kind of adjust to get the right side to coincide with the napkin you've set. Then I use my fingers wherever there's a spot of molasses on all the corners and where the seeds are. And this kind of is a twofold thing. It cements the seeds exactly where you put them, and you can actually feel the seed when you press down on it with your finger to be sure you got a seed in that spot. Occasionally I get a little spacey and miss one. This way I can tell that they're there, and by pressing down it sets the glue so they aren't going to go anywhere until I'm ready to use them. And then the corners are all set so that it will stay together until I am ready to use it. Now, if you can see, here's the pattern we get. Up here we have just the places where the napkin is joined, and then the grid of seeds. Now this little puppy is ready to go, 1 square foot, easy to plant, and I'll try and get the camera out to the garden and give you a shot of the results.